Yeah, hello everyone. Today we're going to be putting a border around the outside of our router table and adding some thickness to it for some rigidity. Let's get into it.
Okay, we're going to measure this and add 2 inches to the width and the depth. So we go from 25 to 27 and 18 to 20, our overall length of those second dimensions. Just going to take a piece of 2x4, cut it down to a little bit longer than that, just so I have some room to trim later. Use my tapering jig. That's funny, tapering jig to make something straight. Anyway, we're just trying to get a clean edge on the 2x4 and take off some of that radiused material. Now that we have a straight edge, we'll put that straight edge up against the fence of the saw and cut them to the height of the stack. And that's pretty good. And take off the side. So I'll have 3 sides now that are milled. Set the table saw to 1 inch and finish the other side by cutting off the rest of the unmilled area. I don't know if it's unmilled or not, but whatever. I didn't touch it yet. Okay, we got it set to 3 inches to cut 3 strips to act as a support and a thickener for the outside. I make this a little bit longer so that I can overlap it off the table, because I'm going to run a router around the MDF later and trim the plywood to the MDF. So these are going to be the sides. They kind of line up there. I stick them together because I want to try to draw a witness line on the MDF to tell me how long of a piece I'm going to need for the piece that goes between them. So I'm going to cut the length of the side pieces right to the line, and then I'm going to add the side piece in to draw my line on the bottom of it to get the dimension I need for that. Cut right on the line, or to the scrap side of the line. And there we go. Sticking out just a little bit on each side is what we're looking for. A little power sanding. Throw a decent amount of glue on. Line it up. I want to make sure it's sticking out on the 3 edges that are on the outside so I can router later. And it all seems like it lined up. Throw in clamps, get a little glue off of there. I don't like a lot of squeeze out. I don't like the cleanup, so let that sit overnight. Now it's all nice and dry. Make sure these pieces are going to hang off the edge just a little bit all the way around. Looks good. I would adjust my length of my inner pieces at this point in time if they didn't quite line up, if they were sticking out too far or not sticking out far enough. I just put a little bit on the end of the board, just to make sure it's on every contacting surface. Sometimes your eyes are bigger than your clamp.
Womp womp.
This one looks like it'll work. Add enough clamps to hold that board in there and move on. I did let those other pieces sit for a few hours before I switched the clamps around to that last piece. Otherwise I would have needed a lot more clamps. Just using a basic chisel to knock all the glue dribble off the MDF, because that's going to end up being my template for my router. Set depth, here we go. I'm going to add a T-slot in using a rabbiting bit. And my router is going to go in here, so I need to make sure that's the top surface. I'm going to set that on my 1/4 inch dado blade. And then bring my fence up to the edge of that, not flexing the blade, but just coming to a point where it feels like it's in contact with the wood and the wood is in contact with the blade. Of course, my dust collection has been turned on and I put the hose on the wrong side like an animal. Wow. We hit 573 for a thickness. Check the top. See how close that came. Whoa, it is actually 573. I did not see that coming. And this is almost a 1/4 inch at 274, and this is 255, which is pretty stinking close and close enough for me to make my next move. I'm sure the glue will take up that extra 7 or 8 thousandths. Using the push fish and marking the top because I definitely don't want to get that upside down because it will be wrong. I don't know about any of you guys, but I like to cut the first corner at a 45 and do that to each piece, 2, 3, and the 4th piece. So now all I have to do is do the mating surface, which I'm doing here. I'm going to leave a little extra on that just so I can sneak up on it. Also, my backer board, I'm just going to go ahead and cut through this to give myself a witness line that I can cut to. Made sense to me. And that felt pretty good. I'll give that a try. Ooh, nailed it. Just kidding. That was the first part I had to line up. And as I suspected, I will have to cut back. So I'll draw a new line on the piece so that I can cut that back. And I forgot to hit record, so you get to see me carrying a stick. But hey, look. Now it lines up. I'll go ahead and mark this as the 3rd piece. I don't know, there's probably a better way to do this. The only thing harmed in the making of this video was the push fish. Please do not call PETA. Alright, let's not talk about what just happened. Unless you want to. Leave a comment. Throw a little bit of glue on each side of my strips that are going to be going into the side of the table and mating with the side pieces. And everything seems to be fitting good so far. I'm doing one piece at a time so I make sure that everything lines up. I did a dry fit. Everything seemed like it worked. And now I'm going to go ahead and sand off any little high spots and areas where, I don't know, it's not, I don't know. Why do you sand? You sand so it's smooth. So I'm smoothing it. Not really trying to get the numbers off. Those are ink and they're deep. Just trying to get it smooth. We'll be putting some black laminate Formica on this and adding some rails for clamp down. Anyway, enjoy watching me sand.
Thank you everyone for staying to the end. I really do appreciate that. Hopefully you got some good information, or just were able to see a different way to do something, or even just be entertained. I don't know. I really don't know why you're here, but I'm going to keep putting videos out. The next one will be on putting the Formica top on and the rails for tying down. If that's something you're interested in, I guess click here or wait for it. It'll eventually be there. If you want to see some more of my stuff, click here. And if you like the channel, click here. Yeah, appreciate it, every one of you.